Hi, my name's Heather. I'm 29 years old. I am a recovering drug addict and a felon. I knew I wanted to start something different for me and my children. I just didn't know how. While I was in the recovery home, I had heard about housing opportunities. At that time, I wasn't anywhere near where I needed to be in order to have a place of my own, so I never applied. I did have a case with DCS for my children. Most drug addicts end up having that with their kids. After leaving the halfway house, I did decide to take it a little more serious and just see what would happen. So I put in my application, and I got the best phone call, I would say still, of my life. I came in, did the intake process, and by the next day I was moved into one of the temporary units. That was one of the big turning points for me in my case with my children, because it showed the courts and my case manager that I was taking it serious and I could provide a stable environment for my kids. It was a month after I moved in, my children were able to have overnight visits with me, and I was able to save up enough money, and I had expressed to her I'm ready to move out. It was getting close to the end of my time, and she said, Heather, I have an apartment I'd like for you to go look at, see if this is something suitable for you. So of course they go over to the apartment. It was 701 McCord Road. It was all the way tucked in the woods in the back, and I'll never forget the first time I walked into that apartment. I literally cried, and I called my mom. In 2 months of moving into my apartment, my children were able to come home. That was one of, that was like one of the best things though, because I had worked so very hard and I never knew that I could do it by myself. And I was obsessed with paying my bills on time, paying my rent. I got excited when I used to get my mail. When I would get bills in the mail, I put on my calendar, old-fashioned, and pay them. So it was a really big deal for me in that apartment. I found myself there. My children felt safe there. My family became proud of me again. So one day, me and my youngest son, we decided to go look at this house that she said would be perfect for all four of us. Well, in my head, when I think of a house and what I've dealt with in the past, I just thought it would be a slum. Well, I pull up to this beautiful home, and then it had a really big backyard, and I started crying. Of course, it's something that I do very often. And within a month and a half, just like that, they had provided me a home for my children, a 4-bedroom. My kids were so excited because there was a basketball hoop in the backyard. My son would draw cards about this basketball hoop. It was able for them to see, look at how hard mom's tried. And so for me, the house was a really big deal. Not only that though, Housing Opportunities has helped me in so many different ways. There was a time where I didn't think I would be able to buy school supplies for my children, and I literally freaked out and had to pick up extra shifts and came in to pay my rent like I always did, and gave me a big hug and said, Heather, you want to do Shop with the Cop? And of course that day I cried. I cried for everything. I cried that day because little things that I don't think to ever ask for help, Housing Opportunities just has some way of knowing, hey, maybe this would be a good idea. There's just so many different tools that I didn't really understand, and so I'm an advocate for Housing Opportunities. I try to help other people in the same situations as me and try to tell them all the tools that I learned from here and how it could help them. I honestly, if I didn't have Housing Opportunities in my life today, I couldn't tell you where I would be, if I'd still be in Valpo, if I'd have the same job, or any of the things that I have today. And it sounds crazy to say that, but they opened up so many doors for me and my children, but what they've done for me is something that I can probably never repay them. So I'm very grateful for them and just thankful.